What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here, and we are back, and today we're going to talk about a pretty awesome mod, in my opinion, the Hunter's Munitions mod that just recently came out. We're going to talk about, number one, how good is it? Number two, if it should be nerfed, and based on that, that question, obviously you guys have probably figured out Hunter's Munitions is pretty darn good. Now, if you are curious, I was really excited for this mod as soon as I noticed it was a thing. And you'll see it right here. So Hunter's Munitions is going to give you a 30% chance to apply slash status to an enemy every time you land a critical hit. So this is going to, number one, be able to lay down a lot of slash on some enemies. I think this is going to be an excellent mod for weapons that have a high rate of fire and a significant amount of ammo. So we are going to be running this on the Soma Prime. I'm also going to move over to the Vacor Heck to show you if this is viable on shotguns and see what you guys think. But I don't think this is going to be good for weapons like bows because you're only going to be able to apply a slash proc at a 30% chance every hit, and it's such a slow rate of fire that you probably should just focus on the damage of the bow and being able to one-shot enemies rather than rely on a status proc. So I believe this is good for crit weapons, high rates of fire, lots of ammo. But what we're going to do first is we are going to try this out without, number one, not Argon Scope because not everyone has it, and without Hunter's Munitions, so that you guys can see what this has to offer. So what we're going to do is simulate up 4 corrupted heavy gunners, 4 corrupted bombards at level 100, and see what happens. So I'm gonna basically pick out one guy at first and try to take him out and see what happens. So with approximately 100 rounds into this guy, you're seeing not even half. Not even halfway dead. So that's not good. That's not good. So let's get one of these bombards. See what happens with one of these bombards. Now we burned through 100 rounds at this point, and getting down to 200 rounds at this point, and we're seeing not even halfway. Close to half, but not quite. Get some slash procs in there, get all that stuff. Now, obviously, you could get away with putting some status on your Soma. There is, like you saw, some space for it. But I feel like this is going to make Soma more crit viable, because I do know there's a lot of people that like to run status and like a corrosive on their Soma for the sake of getting that corrosive proc. But let's just take a look at what we have here before we make a judgment. So Argon Scope, unfortunately, mine's one from the top at the moment. That's allowing kind of some of these mods to fit. But Argon Scope, no Hunter's Munitions, and we'll see the difference between Argon Scope and non-Argon Scope. I guess we could just use these guys still. So we have a full heavy gunner. We're going to aim for the head, obviously, because we want to... Is that the same? Okay. I knew that there was a potential... There was potential for me having to shoot some of these guys over and over again to get my point across, but it looks like so far it's working. But about 200 rounds into this guy, and he's made it to half. He's made it a little over half, but we would need another whole round to potentially kill this guy, even with Argon Scope. So can you get out of the way, Bombard? Do you want to get shot? Is that your deal? Is you want to take the shots? Okay. So there we go. About 370 rounds, and we were able to kill a heavy gunner. Let's see what happens with our Bombard friend back here. So here we go. About 100 rounds in. Okay, mister, you can get out of the way. Thank you. And about another, okay, 170 rounds, and we were able to take out that Bombard. So, better. Argon Scope had made a big difference in general, just for these guys. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in Hunter's Munitions. We're going to drop that right there. And we're going to see the differences between... Argon Scope, first of all, is on here, so keep that in mind. We could actually take that off. Because, like I said, not everyone has it. So let's actually pull that off to show you Hunter's Munitions without Argon Scope. I do believe Argon Scope and Hunter's Munitions go incredibly well together. So for those of you who have it, there's basically a bonus for you. But let's kind of get one of these guys separated out. And actually, let's work on one of the bombards first. If you remember, it took us about 170 rounds to kill one of these guys just previously. And there we are, easily killing them with about 65 rounds. Easily killing them. We, like, half. We, like, doubled our damage. We did about half as much. We shot about half as much, and we're able to take out that bombard. Let's see if the same case is true for the heavy gunner. If you remember, it took us about 370 rounds to kill him earlier with just Argon Scope. And there we are, 150 rounds in, and he's a goner. 150 rounds in, that's more than half. More than half. Let's do that again, run another scenario on a heavy gunner, see what happens. Let's stop at 100, see where we end up. 101 shots, and that's a kill. And that's a kill. That's a kill. Guys, this thing is so good. This thing is so good. Now, I did want to talk about, should this be nerfed? I'm still going to move over to the Vacor Heck. But should this be nerfed? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, no. I feel like this is a very good opportunity for DE to have basically opened the door for some serious endgame stuff in Warframe. And the reason why I say that is because this mod is kind of situational. It works good on a lot of different weapons, but what I mean by situational is if you're going to like rely on Hunter Munitions, let's say we just shot 100 rounds, in order for me to wait for this heavy gunner to die, I have to be very good. I have to be pretty good at the game to make sure, number one, I can survive. That's a big deal. Now, whether you smoke screen it up and you do your thing and you get in here, that's on you. That's if you decide to rely on your powers or just being able to dodge enemies. But in my opinion, this isn't a mod that makes you one-shot capable. This isn't a mod that makes it so that you can walk in a room and clear just waves of enemies. This is a mod that requires you to put rounds on target. Obviously it's gonna obviously have to be relatively crit viable for this weapon, but also be able to avoid the enemy for the remainder of their health. And while in maybe like an exterminate, it's viable for you to maybe shoot 2 or 3 guys in a room and then hide in a corner. You're gonna run into scenarios like survivals and just places where enemies can overwhelm you. And unless you are very good at surviving, unless you have a way to reduce damage the enemy can deal to you, or just not take damage whatsoever by avoiding enemies, you can't reliably rely on this in super end tier, game modes. I'm thinking of those kind of people that go 100+ minutes in survivals. I would love to see some missions and some end game stuff where DE is placing us in really, really difficult missions. I'm talking enemies are 500+. You know what I mean? Like some severe end game type stuff for those that really, really want it. We're gonna pop on Argon Scope and show you just how good this can really be, landing pretty much 100% crit chance all the time. And we are basically gonna blow through a lot of these guys. We've already got 1 heavy gunner down. Okay, we're 200 rounds in. We have 1 heavy gunner down. Almost. I could have got 2. I was hoping to get 3, but there we go. Bam. Bam. Remember, it took us 300 rounds to kill... Over 300 rounds to kill one. Now it's taking us 300 rounds to kill 3. Or less. Less. Hopefully we can get this guy in less. There we go. 400 rounds. It's just great. It's just so good. So the synergy, like I said, between Argon Scope and Hunter's Munitions is great. We'll move over to the Vacor Heck. I just want to kind of show what we're going to get out of this with 200 rounds. We were able to almost kill 3 bombards. If we conserved our ammo on the first 2, I bet we could have killed all 4. I bet we could have killed all 4. But, anyways, there we go. 40 rounds into that guy. Yeah, easily. 40 rounds into that guy. Goner. Goner. So, what do you guys think? What do you think this mod should be nerfed? You think this is too much? Honestly, because it's an event reward and because it synergizes well with other high-end mods, I feel like it should stay a thing. Because, like I said, finally we have a door towards some high-level missions, some endgame stuff, and I feel like this is a mod that'll help us get there. I am going to jump over to Vacor Heck for those of you who care. I won't spend as much time on this just because it's kind of hard to determine if this is for you. Let's go point blank 75. Look at all the mod space. I just haven't been spending a lot of time maxing out some of these mods. I don't have a list. If I level up this point blank, unfortunately it's going to remove it off of like 5 of my shotguns. So. But just like this, very early build, just keep that in mind. We have a full health chamber to kind of make up for some of that. But let's just kind of take a look at the difference between enemies without Hunter's Munitions and with. Now keep in mind, this is a shotgun. These will have less ammo, but they will be doing the whole pellet deal. So let's separate this heavy gunner out. We have 4 shots on him, 5 shots, 6 shots, 7 shots without Hunter's Munitions. And look how little damage we've done. Now, I'm not saying the Vacor Heck can't kill level 100 enemies. Obviously, it's very capable. It's just, I'm trying to show you the huge difference that Hunter's Munitions can make. And we'll do it to the Bombard. So 16 shots on that heavy gunner. And we'll put 16 shots on this Bombard. And we'll see how so little got done to those two enemies. So, just like that, we'll kill them, and then we will simulate them back up. But let's get over here, upgrade. Let's get over to our Hunter's Munitions, and we'll see the difference. Now, on this shotgun, it's not going to be phenomenal, and that's because I believe you'll do better off if you have, number 1, a max prime point blank, max blunderbuss, max, ravage, prime ravage, whatever. Obviously, you'll do better in that fashion. But 4 shots on this guy, and over half. Almost, look at that. Kind of almost killed him. 6 shots on the guy, and he might tick all the way down. Maybe not. Ooh, very close. Yeah, 6 shots on that guy. 16 wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. 6 shots is a kill. Okay, 6 shots on a Bombard. Let's see what that does. 6 shots on a Bombard. Is it going to be just like the Heavy Gunner? It is. It is. Made it happen. So let's just put some rounds in some more of these guys. He should be a goner, hopefully. Alright, there we go. Okay. Obviously, you want to kind of aim up for the head. You want to get all your shots on these guys. Big difference. All of a sudden, it seems like I really am not proccing Slash. Maybe I just had some bad luck on those. But, definitely more viable. Not insanely viable. Unless maybe you have some real high-end mods. But that's the idea. That's the idea, in my opinion, is getting a mod, getting some more mods in there that are going to open the door to endgame content. There's so many people wanting it. There's so many people asking for it. I feel like this will be a missed opportunity if we see a nerf. It'll be a missed opportunity for us opening the door to some real fun and high-end missions that, you know, that would be great for us. So, as you saw, very basic. Still have 22 things, 3 mod slots ready to go. Prime Point Blank still can be leveled up. Prime Ravage still can be way leveled up. Hell's Chamber is maxed, but I kind of had to get something in there to really get lots of pellets going to try and get this Hunter's Munitions to show how good this thing can be. And it's good. It's really good. So, I think I'm going to leave it there. I just want to point out that I am working on a video talking about the entire Hunter's mod set beyond just the stats. I actually want to make a Warframe with all 6 mods and see what happens. And when I say Warframe, I mean Warframe has 1 mod, the primary has 2 mods, and then the companion has 3 mods. And I want to see if we can get these companions really good, if there's some kind of good synergy with this Hunter set that will make us, you know, have a lot of fun with this companion type synergy that we have going on with this mod set. I'll really be excited about that. Now, if you want to see weapons like the Rubico and I think the Snipetron, and there's a few other weapons that are really good for this mod, I will point out a video by Tactical Potato who did a video. Now I wanted to do a video on this mod specifically, but Tactical Potato, I feel like he has excellent builds, and he takes some high-end weapons. He takes weapons with maxed out mods, and he takes them into the Simulacrum like I did, but he fights level 150 gunners. His idea was to show you guys how good this mod can be on high-end, fully maxed weapons. I wanted to show you guys the difference between you know, mid-tier, you know, probably a mid-tier player trying to become endgame. So he has good mods, but you know, he's you know, he's got some space, got some room to kind of figure out what he wants to build his weapons for. And now, seeing how viable this Hunter's Munitions is, maybe more people will use it. So I wanted to show with weapons with Hunter's Munitions and weapons without. And like I said, Tactical Potato basically shows you guys weapons with high-end mods and max out Hunter Munitions on high-level enemies. So go check him out. He's great. I watch his videos. You know, when I need advice for builds and stuff like that. So great content creator. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you want to subscribe and do all that fun stuff for future stuff and Warframe and some other games, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I hope this wasn't too long-winded, but hopefully you learned something. Hopefully, if you really want this mod, you're gonna go get it before this event is over. But until next time, guys. Hello!